Teddy Boy. The Sega Card. Classic. Yeah, I call it a classic. Teddy Boy is another Sega Card game that I have a manual for, so that makes it special, because I only have like a couple of manuals for the card games. So, yeah. It's a video dream or a nightmare, depending on how well you're doing. They were so clever. Flip to the manual. Okay, what's happening? Your Teddy Boy, a normal looking, yeah. This thing about normal looking in blue shirts. I don't understand what normal means, and I'm not blue shirts are somehow normality to the folks at Sega. Yeah, sure. All right, so you have a special micro gun. The bad part is, when it's not these bad guys, it makes them smaller. So when you shoot everything, you're just making it smaller, and you're kind of collecting it. Here's some of the enemies. The Oshishi, yeah, they definitely gave me a lot of problems. Snails, Denden, and more. I don't know what all those names mean. So you have destructible blocks and disappearing walls, which I think should be for you'll see. Like the platforms disappear. I don't really think of them as walls, but that anyway. Armed with Psycho Fox in the controller slot, we're gonna brave Teddy Boy. Let's do this. I really do love that sound. Alright, Teddy Boy. Let's get this road on the show. Alright. So your Teddy Boy, that little noisy cricket thing that you can barely see, that is your micro gun, which miniaturizes the enemies. So you're not really killing them as much as you are kind of shrinking them and then collecting them. So you could kind of say, like, let's say Teddy Boy is like Hank Pym or Scott Lang, if you want to get technical about it. But instead of miniaturizing themselves, miniaturizing everything else. Just think about that. So it's like you're a giant now. So sort of like Giant Man. I'm going to stop talking. At least about that. So you go through round by round, and you'll face different enemies, and they come out of the die. Which is tricky, because if you stand on top for too long, they will pop out and probably end up hurting you. One touch will kill you. These snails, the Denden, are kind of weird because... No, not them. There's the other type of snails. They seem to eat up the time at the bottom of the screen, too. I don't know what that's about. I'll have to read that manual again. Round 3. Bonus round. So I had no idea what I was doing here. I just shot some boxes and then ended up touching a Denden, or snail. And I didn't feel like 120 points really seemed all that special. But then again, I wasn't paying attention to how many points I was accruing to begin with, so I have really nothing to compare it to. I think those duck mouth things are the Oshishi, which is appropriate for the response. An appropriate response for interacting with one of those things, because they're all over the place. They're kind of crazy. You see the levels kind of loop, so if you can't get something that's a little bit above you, keep going down, you'll be above it. And then you're fighting caterpillars or whatever those things are, shrinking them down. I remember hearing about this game. It happened to be in a store called Regen. That's in the White Marsh Mall in Maryland. And they had it. I was like, oh yeah, I remember hearing about this game, but I don't really remember anything about it. So, you know, I don't know about you all, but I don't see Sega Master System games, let alone Sega Card games, in stores a lot. So if you see one, you should probably get it if you can. These snails I think are still Denden, but like when they're flying in certain directions, the micro shots don't work. I think it's best like from a profile, or it's weird. Sometimes it doesn't really hurt them, but oh, that is Teddy Boy. And now you're all experts, including me, but not really. It's pretty fun. Kind of simple, but pretty cool. And now Teddy Boy's dead. Alright. If you dug that, check out a couple other videos I did in the Back When series, of which I need to do more of. But I've been focusing so much on things, indie games and stuff coming out. I've had a whole lot of time to do more. But anyway, Time Soldiers for the Sega Master System, that's on a cartridge, as is King's Quest for the Sega Master System. Those are both on cartridges. You see there's links there for the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher. There's my Twitter account, the Game Enthused Twitter account, our Facebook page. You can subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. Feel free. King's Quest is I can't talk today. King's Quest is pretty rough on the Sega Master System, I'll be honest with you. And I kept thinking it was part 5 for some reason, because the NES has part 5, but it clearly is not part 5. So yes, I was playing Time Soldiers on the Retron. Save states for the win.